everyone, and a very happy Vlogmas. As a linguist who's, completely obsessed with technology, I am always on the hunt for new tools that change the way we interact with language. And today, oh man, we're diving into a piece of tech that lives right at that sweet spot between conversation, memory, and AI. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You've got a mental tab open for gift ideas, another for the party guest list, one for coordinating who's bringing what to dinner, and then like 17 other tabs for every other little thing you're supposed to remember. It's a wonderful time of year, for sure, but wow, it is information overload. Okay, so let's really get into this. It's that classic holiday problem, right? You're on a call, your friend mentions the absolute perfect gift for someone, or your aunt finally spills the beans on the secret ingredient for her amazing stuffing, and you think to yourself, I'll totally remember that. But then life happens, and you just don't. That great idea just gets lost in the holiday chaos. But imagine this for a second. What if you could remember it? What if you had a search bar, not for the internet, but for your own life? For all the things people have said to you. Imagine just typing secret stuffing ingredient, and bam, the exact words just pop right up. That is the wild idea we're going to unpack today. So how do we make that happen? How do we bridge that gap between hearing something important and actually holding on to it? Well, let's meet a potential solution, a piece of hardware that's trying to be exactly that, your personal AI assistant for the audible world. So this little guy is OMI. To put it simply, it's a wearable device that's designed to be your second brain. Its whole job is to capture and, this is the important part, make sense of the conversations happening all around you, so your brain doesn't have to carry that load. So how in the world does it actually work? This is where my inner language nerd gets super excited. Let's break down what it can do, its core features, or as I like to call them, its superpowers. First up, you have the foundation for this whole system. I mean, if you want to make your spoken world searchable, you first have to turn it into text, right? And that's where live transcription comes in. This is basically turning the real world into a script in real time. The AI has to listen to all the tiny sounds we make, understand the grammar, and put it all together into written words, instantly. It's kind of like having subtitles for your life, which honestly, for a linguist, is an absolute dream come true. But okay, just capturing the text is only half the story. What happens to it next is where the real magic comes in. It doesn't just disappear into thin air. OMI creates a memory bank of all your conversations. And here's the kicker, it's all searchable. That gift idea from last Tuesday, that restaurant your coworker mentioned, you can now just search a keyword and find it. No more forgetting those brilliant but fleeting ideas. Now, to keep this from just being a giant, confusing wall of text, the device needs to know who is speaking. This is a really tricky task in computational linguistics, and it's called speaker diarization. It basically analyzes the unique qualities of each person's voice to neatly organize the conversation, showing exactly who said what. Pretty smart, huh? Of course, the second you start talking about recording and storing conversations, a massive question pops up. What about privacy? Well, the company addresses this head-on. According to them, all your data is kept secure and you have complete control. You can delete absolutely everything with just one click in their app. So, we've talked about the tech, but how do all these features actually come together to make your day more efficient, especially during the crazy holiday season? Well, picture this. You're baking, your hands are covered in flour, and your mom is giving you recipe instructions over the phone. OMI captures it all, hands-free. Or you're out shopping, and you totally blank on that perfect gift idea your partner mentioned last week. Just search your conversations. In a work context, your meeting notes basically write themselves. And personally, if you promise to grab more wrapping paper, you've got a digital reminder of that promise. But OMI is trying to be more than just a single cool product. They're building an entire ecosystem. And this is where it gets really interesting for all the tech enthusiasts and developers out there. The whole project is fully open source. That means developers can jump in, contribute, build their own apps for its marketplace, and even build their own do-it-yourself versions of the hardware. This kind of community-driven approach just opens up a whole world of possibilities for what this tech could become. And we can already see this expanding in the hardware itself. You've got the standard OMI wearable that we've been talking about, but there's also a dev kit for the builders and tinkerers, and even an OMI glass in the works, which would build all these features right into a pair of smart glasses. So when we put all these pieces together, what's the big idea here? Is this really about creating a second brain? The real promise of a tool like this isn't just about having perfect memory. It's about outsourcing all that mental clutter, freeing up your actual brain so you can be more present in your conversations, so you can really focus on connecting with people and coming up with new ideas. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. If you had a search bar for every single conversation you've ever had, what would be the very first thing you'd look for? It's a pretty wild thought. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your answers. Thanks for kicking off Vlogmas with me.